Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Economic Development Harlem Piers Committee meeting. Today is March 4th, 2025. The time now is 6:48. We welcome everyone who is here in person and those of you who are on Zoom. Welcome. We're going to call this meeting to order because we do have a quorum. And the meeting is called to order at 6:49. All right, let's take a look at the minutes. And if anyone wants to add anything, otherwise.
Amendation.
Amendation.
Yeah. But are we gonna adopt the agenda? I move that we adopt the agenda.
Second.
So please take a look at the minutes. See if there are any amendments,
Yes,
otherwise a call to adopt.
I have, I would like to propose amendments or amendation. We're on number 5, subcommittee reports, events. Number 1, the small business conference is slated for Saturday, May 3rd, not May 6th.
Oh.
And I don't know how the discussion went. I had an excused absence, but it said the time is 9:30. I don't know if that's the time we agreed to start, but we have been authorized. Also,
I have 10 a.m. to 3, but go ahead.
okay, well, we have access to 3 spaces at the Forum Columbia University, rooms 301, 315, and 316 from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. And so it's not possible location, the location has been confirmed. We have an in-kind space access at the Forum Columbia University, rooms 301, 315, and 316 from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, March 3rd.
May 3rd.
May 3rd, not May 6th, May 3rd.
Rooms 301,
315 and 316, yes.
Oh, it's the 2, I thought I think it was more than.
301, 315, and 316.
With that correction, I move to adopt the minutes from the previous meeting. Gretchen, do you register that? She's taking minutes.
Gretchen, she was online. She's still online?
Are you there, Gretchen?
Hi, yes, I'm here. I'm just having a hard time hearing you guys. I can barely
Okay,
hear you.
There was just an amendment to, proposed amendment to the minutes from last meeting. Saying that the small business conference, item 1, under the subcommittee reports, the date is May 3rd, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. That is the proposed amendment.
Not only that, it's not a possible location. The location has been set.
Confirmed.
We've been confirmed. We are authorized to access the Forum Columbia University, rooms 301, 315, and 316 on that day.
But that's not a change for the minutes from the last meeting. That's just,
Well, on the
that's it.
minutes, it says possible location.
Because it was
Yeah.
at the last meeting.
Apologies for interrupting. I just wanted to clarify that I'm not able to, I'm not on my computer and able to make changes right now. So I'm dialing in.
Okay, I'm just clarifying, how, the way the change is gonna come in the official minutes. Are we just writing it on our?
Yeah, the Google document is in the shared folder that everyone has access to.
You should hear it and then make it for corrections. and changes.
Gretchen, I'm sorry, we didn't hear what you said. Say one more time.
There's the Google folder that everybody has access to. That's where the meetings are. So anybody can access that and edit the minutes. Or if you want to send them to me after the meeting, I'll be able to do it this evening.
Okay, So that'll be the course of action then? I can communicate with Gretchen about that this evening, about the change. With that, amendment, I motion to approve.
Is that the only one? Is that the only amendment?
With that in the minutes, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Okay, all right, so you. Is the motion or you second? Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so this evening we have a presentation by the Ladies of Hope Ministries and Faces of Women in Prison. Trish Lewis, are you there? There she is.
Yes, I am. How are you all?
Good.
Good, thank you.
Awesome. We also have here the founder, Topeka K. Sam here with us today, that will be also presenting. And we appreciate you all letting us squeeze in with you all just to present some of the work that we have been doing from you all's support. And we deeply appreciate that. Topeka?
Thank you so much. Are we presenting now? I didn't know if you were just announcing us on the agenda or would you like us to present now?
Yes, please present now.
Thank you. Do we have any capacity to use the Zoom to show a presentation because we created a deck?
Let's just see, bear with us.
That's fine.
Wait, I did the wrong thing over there. It's
Give us the name of the
participants. And then, Trish Lewis.
If you can share it with the one that has the icon and not my face, I'm on here on my laptop and my phone. So the one that does not have the, that has an icon, if you can.
Other Trish Lewis.
Well, let's see. Oh, there.
That's the one.
Trish Lewis guest. There. Yeah. Okay, you're good to go.
I don't see the host rights. Oh, let's see. Here we go. Share.
Okay, so we want to do it. And what's the other one?
Are you good, Trish?
Yeah, then the other one.
They can all be co-hosts. All the Trishas can be co-hosts.
Okay, she's showing. She's showing.
Uh-oh.
Can you move us out of?
One second. Let me-
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Okay, I'm getting there. All right, can you all see that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. So I'll begin. I'm Dr. Topeka K. Sam, the founder and CEO of the Ladies of Hope Ministries. We have an epic vision to end poverty and incarceration of women and girls globally. Trish, next slide, please. Our mission is to empower women and girls to create sustainable lives post-incarceration and any systems impacted women, girls aging out of foster care, women actively fleeing domestic violence, or any justice impacted woman. We drive change through social justice movements by creating opportunities for housing, food, healthcare, living wage employment, and entrepreneurship opportunities. Next slide, Trish. We created our work because 1 million women in this country are under the supervision of the criminal justice system. 85% of women are mothers who are incarcerated, and 90% of all previously incarcerated women report food insecurity upon reentry, and 75% of all women will remain unemployed for up to 1 year post-release. Next slide. Some of our partners and funders you see here on the screen, and very, very grateful to presenting the work that we do in West Harlem, New York, but West Harlem specifically through the generous support of the West Harlem Development Corporation. Our rapid rehousing work is a program that we have with HUD. Not only do we do this work in New York, but we also do it in Maryland and also um, New Orleans, Louisiana. And through this work, we're able to help women who are actively fleeing domestic violence, intimate partner violence, and also those impacted by the criminal legal system with stable housing. So that means that we're able to give them wraparound services, rental assistance. We can help pay people's rent if they qualify for up to a year. And then also help with credit restoration, rebuilding, and sending them onto home ownership. Next slide. Our Pathways for Equity program is our professional skills training program. We offer digital skills training with the Grow with Google program that we were one of 4 organizations that helped to create the Justice Impacted G Suite program, which provides certifications under project management, digital marketing, IT technology, data analytics, cybersecurity, Microsoft, and AI training. We also do resume building, interview strategies, job search platforms, online profiles, and personal branding. And we work with Fair Chance Hires, Virgin Hotels in New York, are one of our partners, the NFL, JP Morgan Chase, and others. Next slide. Our Faces of Women in Prison program, which Trish Lewis is our director. We empower the voices of justice impacted women in community. We created a speakers bureau where to date we've trained over 215 women on how to share their story and use their voice. We advocate for policy and legislation change, leading the efforts to pass over 15 pieces of legislation nationally, changing conditions of confinement of women, and also careers as public speakers. Next slide. And so we do mental wellness and mindfulness training, digital skills that I mentioned, financial wealth, wellness building, and also credit restoration. And our funding that we received from the West Harlem Development Corporation, specifically to go into what we've been able to create and do in West Harlem, is our Women of West Harlem program, Breaking Barriers, Building Futures, and Economic Development. We had a summit last year, which Trish will talk more about. Trish?
Yes, thank you. With you all support, we had an amazing conference last year. The goal of this event was to empower women and families in Harlem by providing mental health, legal resources, career, economic development, but also provide a strong network and community support. So last year, June 2nd, is when we had this conference at the Harlem School of Arts. We had over 300 women in attendance, and you can see the agenda here. I know it's a bit small, but I also sent it off so you all can have this in your personal records. But we went through a whole day of activating your wellness, financial workshops, mental health workshops, digital literacy, as she said, with our partnership with Google. And we had a comprehensive panel with women just telling their stories and empowering each other. So as we were leading up to this conference, we pushed a lot of content. We actually had about 5,000 impressions. And so with all of you all, we had you all's logo and support on all of our data, all of our social media handles. We were able to reach about 10,000 people and 5,000 impressions with our social media. So we were able to really spread what West Harlem Development has been doing. So yeah, we had about over 300 women at this conference, and I would say has been very, very impactful. I'm wondering, let's see if I can get some volume on here.
It was June 2nd
No, where?
at Harlem School of the Arts.
The people who came to see individually will not sit with it.
Our program consists of financial literacy, wealth building, digital literacy, dating safety, public speaking, everything that mothers need when you're transitioning back from incarceration.
If being authentic does not mean you get to dress and talk how you want to, it means walking and living your purpose. For every one of us. And anyone who comes to me and say, listen, I just came home, I know some resources, I know some connections, right? Let's make it happen. What do you need clothes? You need food. I know something, like, make it happen. I understand the power of feeling like a human again.
There's an echo in the sound,
Exactly.
so we can't clearly hear.
You said you cannot hear you?
Yeah.
No, Trish, I think it's one of your devices maybe, so it's echoing.
You may need to mute one of them.
Yeah, exactly. And then turn the volume up.
Okay, I apologize.
That's okay. Mute your phone and then take the mute off of your device. The computer mute. We did send this over. Oh, okay. Do you have it, Trish? I can't hear it at all. Can anyone hear the volume?
Negative.
No.
No.
Okay, we sent over the video. It's a part of the deck. And so we can also drop a link in the chat if anybody would like to look at it. Sorry about the technical difficulty.
Yeah, I apologize. I apologize. It said it was unmuted on my end, but again, I can post this in the group chat for you all to see. It was just a clip of the day of events that we had, and it was, I would say, a successful event. We had over 300 women, and they all got resources to overcome obstacles, whether it's job, career, mental health, telling your story, empowering your voice, digital literacy, entrepreneurship, job skill training. It goes on. And it was so successful that we actually did end up having a cohort of women that I had recruited from this event. We had some postings that we had after was the personal and business branding workshop. And this was requested from the women from this conference. We had about 18 attendees there. And then I started a program with Faces of Women in Prison that did cover mental health, behavioral health, financial literacy, digital literacy, dating safety, and public speaking, how to find your voice. And we had, that was from September to December. We had about 20 women signed up with about 18 women that graduated from that program into our alumni cohort. And in the alumni cohort, they have access to public speaking engagements and all the resources that we offer here at the Loam. And so just continuing on with our work, April of this year, we will have another speakers intensive course, Empowering Your Voice. June 1st, we are going to repeat what we did last year with this conference, the Women of West Harlem Conference. It was very much successful. And so we plan on doing that again. This time, we plan to anticipate about 500 women instead of 300 women. And then thereafter, we will have a women over dinner at the center, and that will be about 175 women there. And so I just want to briefly talk about the benefits of what we're doing here and for the CB9 community. One is the economic empowerment, and that's really just empowering people with financial literacy, job skill training, and career building, which will essentially impact the community and community building. We had many different organizations there, from the Queen's Defenders, the Fortune Society, the New York State Corrections and Community, supervision. There were a lot of New York companies, organizations that represented well. And what that did was that strengthened the community within this space here. And so again, I wanted to extend our gratitude for you all's support in this work. Your support definitely matters. It's building stronger communities. It's building economic development and support and stability for the women, the people at the CB9 location in Harlem and New York as a whole. And so we really appreciate all of your help and hope that we have your continued support in doing this work. It is very, very much impactful. And so we want to thank you. If you have any questions or concerns, please let us know. Again, I will drop this in the link, and I've also sent it. I sent it off in an email. I was hoping that I don't see her on the call, but you all will get a copy of this as well. Are there any questions or concerns?
Well, first, thank you. This is most impressive. Thank you for the powerful work that you all are doing.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what John said. It's impressive. And to be next door, I was not even aware. So
Very
I really,
informative, yeah.
commend you. Few questions. You work in different states. That will require a lot of manpower here. How do you do? Are you recruiting volunteers? Are the volunteers paid or not? So one of the questions. So the other one is how do you recruit those beneficiaries? Let's talk about women in West Harlem. How many? What is the cap? How many? Because I mean, a lot of people would like to get into the program, but what are your criteria to put them? And then the second one is who's on you? Because you had a lot of activities. And that's, when I think about the IT, who are your partner and who's on you?
Sure. So thank you. I didn't hear everything you said, but I'm going to try to answer what I did hear. And if you don't mind repeating what I missed. So firstly, how do we do all this work? And we must have, a mighty team. We have a mighty team. We have about 16 employees. Nationally, everyone works remote for the most part. We have employees in New York, Maryland, also in New Orleans, Florida, Miami specifically, and we'll be opening up in Detroit by the end of this year. Our funding partners, I'll jump around a little bit. Our funding partners are city, state. So we have, West Harlem Development Corporation. We have public-private partnerships. We get funded from companies like Chanel, the NFL. We also get funding from HUD, federal funding from HUD. We also get support from different city councils in the states that we work in. We do a lot of different campaigns. We work with different foundations. As you see, Arnold Ventures, we've worked with Rock Nation, Ford Foundations has funded us. So just a little bit about my background. I am born, raised in Harlem and also Manorville in Long Island. My father was a deacon and also a minister at Abyssinian Baptist Church. He passed away about 5 years ago. My mom still lives in Harlem. And so I created this organization based on my own incarceration. I was incarcerated in federal prison. I came home back to Harlem, New York, when I was released in 2015, now 10 years ago. And from the things that I learned while I was incarcerated, I came home and God told me to start this organization, and I did. And I decided that it was important for me to use my voice and to share my experience. And so as I began to go around the country speaking publicly, people heard me and they wanted to support our work. And so really that's how we have been successful being able to get funding, because I empowered myself to use my voice. And from that, one of the programs that we created was FOWI, Faces of Women in Prison. Because during the first year of me just running around the country, talking to anyone that would hear me, I'm beginning to get paid. People ask me, what was your honorarium? How could we support you? And I looked up in the first year, I'd made approximately an additional $50,000 in income just from speaking. And so for me, that was a way for, hey, if I could do it, so can other women. And so we created a program to teach women the basics on how to share their story, not only to get paid, but also to be able to change and shift policies, and things that are happening within this country that directly affect our communities. And so that's how we get funded. People hear us, people see the work that we do, and they care. As far as volunteers, we have different types of, we have people who come in and who dedicate their time, will provide in-kind donations and resources. We have others who we pay as stipends. A lot of people who have gone through my programs, we have hired in full-time capacity. I have actually one sister who went through 3 of my programs and now is a director of one of my programs. So we definitely believe in hiring from within. Um, and the programs that I've been able to create was basically from the things that I heard the community saying they needed. And so we take a holistic approach. We understand that it's not a one size fits all. We have people in our program that have GEDs. We have people who have master's degrees, PhDs, attorneys, you name it. And so we just really, and we wanted to partner with people who are professional, who don't look at those of us who have convictions um, as just people with a past, that we're people who are intelligent, that we have skills, that we can contribute to the economy and our communities, and we want to. And so our approach has been that, and we've been blessed to meet people and, meet companies and organizations like yours that see that what we do, that see the impact that we make, and that want to be a part of it.
Most impressive.
Very.
Yeah, very
Last-
Well, it's God, I say, it's God. God guides us and God
Your
leads us.
number or your contact on the chat,
Yeah.
please.
Contact information is very, that's what we need.
And how can men be supported?
Oh, well, there's a few things men can do. Well, first of all, we've actually been talking about how we're integrating some of the brothers in our programming because, we have to heal with each other, right? And so mentorship, supporting and helping, just coming and being a part of the community. During the Women of West Harlem, we actually had a panel of men that talked about some of the traumas that they've been through, the healings that they've gone through, and then just also helping to open and advocate spaces for us to come in. That's incredibly important for us as well. So we're also offering a digital skills training to men and women, because what we found is that it's so important that men feel that they're included too, because a woman can't have all the skill sets in the home. And then sometimes there becomes, competition and issues. So we've opened our programming up for men in that way as well.
We've actually been getting letters from men from inside currently incarcerated requesting for our support and services as well. So we're thinking about expanding our programs to men as well. We have a partnership with Edgecombe Correctional Facility, and we're working on bringing the same information there to the facility, Grow with Google, where they can get trained as Google trainers and get paid as Google trainers as well. So there's a lot of opportunity to widespread outside of just women, but we know that men need this support too.
Mhm. Oh, and lastly, I want to add, we also just received some funding where we are focusing our cohorts now on women over 50. And so specifically for that group around our career building, upskilling, and training for seasoned sisters. I mean, I'm pushing 50 at the door right now myself. My birthday is Thursday. Happy birthday. I got one more year to 50 though, not there yet. But we're offering those supportive services and for women who are, a little bit more seasoned, and teaching them different skills. And we have 500 free scholarships for different certification programs that anyone can take, women or men. We can drop that information in the chat. We have our digital bank, MyFresh, where people with convictions, justice, anybody, but justice impacted people who are struggling to get a bank account, they can open up an account with us with no issues. So there's a lot of different things. We're also supporting and launching a program called Music Therapy, which teaches people around digital how to make music on their phone and get paid that way. So we are doing a lot, but God provides. So when you ask, how do we do this work? It's with our great Father helping to guide us through this work and connecting us to people like you who care to support the work that we do.
It's inspired and inspiring work. You are
Thank
doing.
you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
And but people, we need to know how to contact you.
Need contact.
Okay, hold on. I'm putting the number in the chat. And my email is also in the chat. And Trish, I see Trish put her email there as well.
Expect to have a phone call.
Yes.
Right, you see it,
if
cause
you
I don't see it.
recall-
Where is it?
I just opened up.
I
the
just
chat.
put it in there.
I don't see
It's
the
there.
call.
If you recall,
It's
last
right there.
year,
Oh, you just want to pass.
hello. Last year, when you also presented here, Tricia, if you remember, we were trying to put together a small business conference. And we had asked if you all could participate, and you graciously said yes. So we're planning the same small business, we were not able to do it last year, but we're planning the same to do it this year. We'd love to contact you guys, hope you'll be available so that you can participate in the small business conference that we're organizing. That's
Absolutely. You need,
We would love
I appreciate all's support, really. This work is really just going towards reducing recidivism in New York and nationwide. And hopefully just be able to close the prison facilities and or lock it up to the people who really need to be locked up. But I think everyone deserves a second chance. And through you guys' support, we are reducing recidivism. The work is real. We're doing the boots on ground work, as we say in the military, as a war veteran. The boots on ground, we're doing the real work on the streets, and we're seeing the impact of it, and we're keeping women and people out of prison. And so we appreciate you again for the work, because it's not in vain. The work is being done.
I have another question. Where in Maryland do you operate? Where, which city in Maryland?
So our house is in Prince. Oh, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, our house is in Prince George's County, Maryland.
Okay.
And we do we do in Baltimore, PG, DC, that area. So anywhere through that line from Baltimore through DC. But our
Okay.
house is in PG, and our rapid rehousing program where we move women and families into their own apartment and help them pay their rent. We do that in Prince George's County.
Okay, when you talk about Prince George County, you mean about Laurel?
Yep. Laurel, Largo, Silver Spring, a Bowie,
Okay,
that kind of that area right there.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Impressive.
Go ahead, Chris.
Josh, yes.
Oh, Jack.
It's okay. Last name Christopher. First of all, I love seasoned sisters. That's a great term. And second of all, I think on one of the agendas, there was a men's den, actually, on one of the hours, was a men's den, right? On the
Yes.
that recently. My two questions. Could you speak a little bit more about the April event? I was trying to keep up with all your acronyms and I lost that one. I didn't quite catch what that was. And my second question is, could you speak a little bit more about the credit rehabilitation efforts, please?
Sure. So Trish, you want to start with the April?
So in April, let me just pull it up. In April, there it is. So are you referring to the Empowering Your Voice in April that we're having?
You had the list of upcoming
Yeah,
events. April
that
was
was
the
it.
first one. I think it was, I couldn't quite catch the
It
acronym.
was FOWI.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry, okay,
FOWI, yes,
Wowie,
which
yes,
it stands for,
Faces of Women in Prison.
that's what I thought, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
There was two I's and I didn't, okay.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, can you speak about
So,
that?
And that's April when?
Sure. So we have a public speaking coach. Her name is Melissa. She is great at what she does. She makes a lot of money what she does, and we have employed her to have public speaking, how to find your voice, how to make money from, as Topeka said, she's made her first year, she made $50,000. And so in short, we're trying to create little Topekas, so to speak, where we're empowering women to find their voice, tell their story, how to articulate your story, also how to capitalize from it. And so it's a part of the 6-month program, but what we did was we shortened that, condensed it, and created an intensive program where it's just 6 weeks and we cover all of that stuff in a tight 6 weeks. So it's probably intensive program where we're pretty much condensing a 18, 19 week program into a 4 or 5 week program, but they're still getting the essentials of how to tell your story and how to capitalize from your story.
And so that's, people currently incarcerated or formerly or both?
Right now, formerly incarcerated, but we have some programs to get inside. Like I said, we were working with Edgecombe and some other facilities where we're doing that on the inside. But right now, it's for formerly incarcerated people. And you had a
Not the answer, just curious.
okay. You had a question. I'm sorry.
I remember the other question. The other question was around the financial education piece.
Specifically, like I think you said something about
Credit
credit
restoration.
restoration. Yeah,
So what we've done, we working with Experian. And so right now we're creating a tool specifically for justice impacted people. But and so that when people report to their credit, they can use their payments for parole probation. Or, there's some apps out there now that do rent and things that help to rebuild credit. But we just partnered with Appfolio. And Appfolio, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's a technology that allows people who are like, if you're going to apply for an apartment, say, right? You can put your information in Appfolio and it downloads the information and lets you know whether or not you're going to be approved for said apartment. But what we've done is we're taking that information and it allow us to get the person's credit score. We can find out what their conviction history is. And that way we can take that to them and help them to completely rebrand themselves, if you will, clean their credit. If there's any convictions that they can get expunged, let's get it expunged, right? If they, whatever we need to do, we can help them. So when they're done with our program within 12 months, that they have a beautiful credit history or new credit score, and they're able to go into home ownership. And so my goal, everything that I created with the organization was really based on my own reentry, things that I did, things that I learned, things that I knew even prior to incarceration. And so through Fresh, the credit, I would say the credit building, credit restoration piece of it is helping people understand their credit, number one, why it's important to know what your credit is and how to build your credit. You can't do anything without it. It's actually, it's more powerful than actually even having cash nowadays. And people don't understand that. And then getting them to a place that they can feel comfortable understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt, because there is a thing. Understanding that, you may be paying X amount of dollars in rent, but guess what? You may be able to pay 1,000 less if you just buy a home. What are the first time homeowners programs? So all this information that we get, we partner with local institutions, a lot of, what is it? Community-based banks, CDFIs. Sometimes we'll partner with like Chase. We've partnered, the sisters didn't really like Chase too much, but we tried it. We partnered with Wells Fargo, depending on the different markets, and maybe just a local bank that we partner with to do different classes. We also work with Edovo, which is a platform that allows educational programming in prison. And so we have a lot of our programming on the digital platform that allows over, right now, it's up to like 77,000 people that have taken our digital class, that have done different things there. So, we're trying new things, especially with technology. We're building an AI tool now also that helps on giving people their information while they're incarcerated to learn how to fight their case. So, for example, right now, people have access to Pacer while they're inside. That'll give them information on, what their case is, or if they need to case, what is case law that they can use to fight their case. And often people aren't able to get back in court or do anything because they don't have the funding for proper representation. And so we're creating this tool that will be basically their buddy. They can put their information in it and it will give them everything they need to do to fight their case, the case laws that they need to use it, the motion templates that they need to do, and put that out. So we're really excited about that. We're going to start a pilot on that next month. And so we do a lot, uh, but I hope that answered your question around the credit.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, I was saying,
question before we move on. Last year, Tricia, we had asked you all if you can do a workshop on digital payment systems. I think that's one of the things that you were working on last year, digital payment system. What do you think, if you do agree, or if you are available to participate in this conference, what topic do you think you would like to cover in the
Well, I mean,
workshop?
I think what would be helpful for us to know, the demographic of people that'll be there, so we know what is the best topic to help them to give. So once we know that, I think, one of our kind of basic workshops on the digital skills is important. Something on branding, which is a lot of people really like because it helps them to, kind of redefine who they are and who they want to be and how they want to show up in the world. And that doesn't just mean for a person who's been incarcerated. It could be anybody who's transitioning in a career or field. Around the banking, we would probably do like a basic 101 class around financial education. Why is it important to have a bank account? Some people don't even like to deal with the bank. Why is that important to establish a banking history? Um, there's a lot of different things we can do and talk about, but I think we should work with you on what you feel the community is lacking most of. Or maybe there's even an opportunity to do a quick survey with your listserv to ask them, give them some options. Hey, would you like to see this, 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 this? Let them reply on, like an easy jot form, excuse me, or Google Sheet, and then we can, tailor the class that people want to have, and not just give people what, we think they want.
Okay, all right, so we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, that's just the beginning, but I mean, I'm gonna talk with you. You are doing a lot. You've been, you had a lot of data. I would like to know who is in charge and how do you measure the impact of what you're doing? Because we are very excited, but you want to raise more money. So when you go in front of, let's say, your investor, they want to see the numbers qualitatively or quantitatively. How do you follow that? Because that requires a lot of thinking.
No, well, thank God you're only as strong as your team. And so, I have a great team. There's directors in each program that we've mentioned, Trish being one of them, and each program director is responsible for quantifying their data. And for me, the way that I like to tell our stories, it's not just about numbers, right? Like I've worked on legislation where thousands of people, like the Federal First Step Act, thousands of people were able to get out of prison, right? But that's one number. But how many people are you able to keep out of prison? How many people are we able to house because of that? We can say that we have a 0% recidivism, which means any person that's gone through any of our programs over the last 7 years have never gone back to prison. And so that means that our programs work, right? Our data is having testimonies from the sisters that we serve that share their stories, their children. Right now in our housing work, we have over 77 women and 55 children that are presently in stable, beautiful, safe housing because of the programming that we do nationally. And, we're just going to get bigger. So, I
So that's
have.
qualitative data.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
And which is powerful.
That's what they asked for, like when I started this organization, I often say, building a plane while already flying it. And a lot of the things that I learned was just based on what funders said they wanted, right? Based on what your outcomes are, what 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 are your outcomes or your deliverables for said grant? They're asked for a specific thing. And the more sophisticated the donor, the more we learned, what additional information they would require. And so for us, we're always in a learning stage. So any information, when you talked about volunteering, it could be an opportunity to work with us to teach us different things that we may not know, to help us to get different data points or different analytics and things that we need in order to be able to bring in the dollars that we need to raise. So, I'm always open for any support there. We've done pretty good, with what we know, but if you're not learning, you're not living. So I'm always open to feedback and support in that way.
Thank you
Also,
so much. Thank you. We will be in touch with you all. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. I think Trish had one more word and then we'll give up the stage.
oh, no, I was
Trish.
piggybacking what you said about data, and we've utilized platforms like Salesforce and other platforms
Yeah.
kind of keep track of that quantitative data. So everything
Thank you, Trish.
and Salesforce and those type of platforms that help us kind of keep track. But again, we appreciate you so much for allowing us this space and to present to you the work that we've been doing and the work that your support is doing for the community. So we appreciate you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please, let's keep in touch. Thank you all.
Right. Thank you.
Have a good
Have a
night.
good night.
All right, good night. Good night.
So this is.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, so we have to be here by 8:30. So we're gonna have
Well, when
Take your
people talk,
microphone.
the camera shifts in the direction.
Yeah, I don't, but it's supposed to be in the middle so we can see everybody. When I was gone, we were remote last month. I couldn't see anybody, but I'll talk to you.
It's over there because you're special.
Thank you.
Okay,
Sure.
all right.
Okay, so my report is, at the last time we talked, I was, barking up the tree of EDC, trying to get, communication with them about what, the marine transportation.
Right.
And they've passed me off to DSNY,
To.
DSNY.
Sanitation.
Department of Sanitation.
Yeah, so they say that they are the controlling entity, and I had a person who.
Can see us.
For the Piers?
Okay, the video is off.
Wait, you
somebody
go
put the
ahead,
video
cause I
back
know
on,
all about
please?
what you're talking about, keep going.
It's just to use this thing to.
So as we
Yeah.
thought before, it does belong, it is under the purview of DSNY. So I'm barking up their tree now, trying to get them to give me some information. The contact that I had over there has gone on. I think his message on his phone now says, leave without end date or something, he's not, I don't know if he's coming back. So I have a new person over there
Your economic development,
at DSNY.
Department of
Department of
Sanitation.
Sanitation.
what's that?
EDC sent me to sanitation. They said that they don't have anything, they told me they don't have any plans, they don't have anything going on. So they sent me over to sanitation. So I'm trying to park up there. And, the person I most recently spoke to said that they were gonna was it elevate or escalate? Yeah, to the next level of management so that hopefully I can get some answers. Something I was thinking about with that was, I was gonna have a outside meeting, but if nobody objects, I could also invite them to come to one of these meetings.
Yes, absolutely.
That would be fine, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So,
That would be helpful.
Yeah,
I'm going to go for either option, whichever option.
it's better if they come here.
Okay.
I agree,
That-
but
that
whichever
makes-
option they'll go for, I think, let's,
This is my pet. So you understand?
I know.
All right. Sanitation had it originally. When it started to go into the ground, sanitation, we don't want it, that's it, leave it in the. That's how it ended up in economic development.
right?
Now they're telling you it's going back to sanitation. What we need to do is get a hold of one of our elected people
Mhm.
to get involved with us on both of these issues, because I know sanitation gave it to economic development. I can go back
So,
in paperwork and find
I,
out.
100%, I believe you. What I think has happened since then, and this is sort of me putting the puzzle pieces together,
Right,
is that I think EDC couldn't get traction. And so now they're saying, oh, well, because they never had full control. I think it was handed over to them like, oh, you guys do something with this, even though it belongs to DSNY. So now I think EDC is saying, oh,
No.
it's not our entity.
sanitation said they didn't want to deal with it, it was going into the water.
Right,
It ended up with EDC. EDC now was stuck with it because it's economic development on the waterfront.
except ownership wasn't passed to them.
Ah,
It still belongs to DSNY. So that's-
because that's not the way we were told. Okay, so it now still belongs to sanitation.
According to property records that I looked up.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay, all right.
sanitation is still in control of the property as far as I can tell. But
And what
now
does economic development have to do with it?
they're saying they don't have any involvement anymore.
Very interesting, okay.
So I'd like to bark up the DSNY tree a little bit further and see if I can get some nuts to fall out, if not, then I agree,
No, we need
next
some political
elevation
help
is some,
here,
exactly.
Yeah,
So
we need
that's-
some political help.
And
Let
that-
me know, when
Okay.
you get a chance, let me know who you're speaking to at sanitation.
I have a first name, Joe. He's the person who, after the community affairs official that I had is now gone. He is the person who is now, fielding my call to try to, he says he's gonna escalate it up the tree, so.
Is Joe the receptionist?
Potentially, I don't know.
No, what's happening here is this needs some political involvement.
Well, and we are the first step of that political involvement in my perspective, because it's one of those things that has fallen through all the cracks in all the bureaucracy of New York City. And that's what we're here as community board, to do, is to say like, there's this thing that is being ignored. Let's get some, and I agree, I just want like one more week to try.
Sure, cause I wanna make a phone call.
You wanna make a
I
fuss,
say,
like,
"Oh,
I
look
got
here,
it.
honey, you need to take your political self on my behalf and check this out.
Give me one more week to try the nice pathways and then we can start shaking things.
Right, you have my direct number,
I
right?
do, I do.
All right,
And
but
then
I
this-
know who I'm gonna call, I'm just waiting to dial.
Okay, and then the second update I had was,
Mhm.
I didn't really do very much on the bus service issue that we talked about. But what I have done is reach out to Solomon, the chair of we talked about, if we want economic.
Eleven
We're setting it up Marjorie
Right,
Street.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of fill me in,
Uh-huh.
So we talked about that and I apologize, it was a short month.
No,
February
no,
is a short
no, that's
month and
okay,
I didn't get very far, but what I have done is reach out to Solomon from Uniform Services
Transportation?
and Transportation.
Yes.
Cause I think that a little dialogue back and forth with that will be helpful and I think he's gonna probably have a liaison with the city, with DOT. rather than me just cold calling them, which is what I'm doing with DSNY, and it's not working very well, so that's where I'm at on that.
Well, with the bus service, what we're saying there is we want them to put it back.
Want them to resume
Yes.
Resume it.
the route.
It was originally there, made a right turn on 12th Avenue and it ended at 135th.
Right.
And so we're saying not to start something new, to return the
Sure.
service.
Resume, yes.
That's our baseline.
Yeah, okay, we got.
But we need service if we wanna have activity there.
That's
It's a
right.
beautiful
That's
part of
right.
this island,
That's right.
the beautiful part of this island.
Oh, listen,
And that-
wait, I'm gonna give you.
Deserves economic development.
Wait, I'm gonna give you the secret to the madness. Okay. You know the bus station up at 12th Avenue, is at 130 something street. It's where the buses turn. Anyway, that's where Columbia's gonna put their new dormitory. Enough said,
130, where?
it's 100 and, where are we here? It's
This is
right down-
133rd.
Down the street, where the buses go down the street on the corner. If you look, if you know, that's the street that Columbia is
Mhm.
supposed to put the new dorm.
At the foot of the hill here?
Yeah.
133rd.
Take away the buses, hey, you know, look at those.
You
Hey.
know, here's another interesting, you just spurred an idea.
Mhm.
You know, the Columbia has a bus service
Yeah,
for Columbia students.
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we can, maybe part of the CBA could, be amended to provide transportation. If they're gonna start building all those facilities down
No,
there.
no, because the Columbia, and I watch it very, I'm out here in the nighttime, so I see that bus, so I know who's on it and where it goes. It won't pick up regular people.
That's what I'm saying.
So.
Well, I know,
No, they
but
won't.
it could.
And no, they can't.
They
You have a
could.
special.
Wait. They can't, because the people on that bus are supposed to be Columbia students and protected. Insured and protected by Columbia. That's why they can't pick me up.
It's a
And they
liability
can't
issue.
pick you up, it's a liability issue. So let's not. Now, if it's a public, anybody can get on it, Columbia and anybody else. Then you can decide whether you wanna let Columbia get on there with a pass, when the rest of us have to pay. I mean, there's a lot of other issues. The thing is to get that bus back up, so that.
I agree. I think that DOT is the best route to go with this. I'm
Yes.
just exploring ideas,
Yes.
which could include, and I guess I'm thinking of flexing our power a little bit more, which is to make Columbia take out an insurance policy so that they can provide bus service to the general public.
Maybe an
No,
easier route
wait.
might be to get, urge Columbia, particularly in light of the information that Maria is sharing with us about the plans for their new development at the foot of the hill here. Urge Columbia to urge MTA and DOT.
No, what
to
you want
resume
Columbia to
the-
do is to support our request for this to be resumed.
Yeah,
Okay,
similar.
that's what you want them to
Yeah.
do. And the difference with Columbia now is the people that I had worked with Columbia all along that had the power has resigned.
Sure.
And I'm not sure this new lady know how strong she's supposed to be. So I had another inside person I haven't contacted yet, but go back on up that 12th Avenue thing,
Let's start.
straight up.
Okay,
I'm gonna look for next month about the Columbia bus. Yes, it's only for students, but I think there is you can, if you are elderly.
No, that's a different service.
Oh,
Columbia has a separate service for the community. They will take you to the hospital, they will take you to the clinic,
Well,
but it won't
it's a
take.
service.
I've seen it sometimes on off of 145th. They
Mhm.
stop. And I have to look, I don't want to say something.
Look to see where they're going, cause that Columbia bus for the
It's
community
Oh.
is supposed to be able to take seniors
Yes,
and
seniors,
disabled,
yes,
I know the deal.
Yeah.
Seniors and disabled people,
Yes.
either to the
exactly.
hospital up there which they don't put on the paper. If you read the paper, they tell you they're gonna take you to Harlem Hospital. They're not even trying to take you to their hospital there on Amsterdam Avenue, but they will take you up here. The bottom line is not, especially since we got a new president at Columbia. So I'm not sure she understand all of them. Been here long as some of us like
Okay,
me.
yeah.
So let's not confuse her up too much. Let's get her
So,
where she belongs.
ladies,
Yeah.
distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have a conference coming up.
Yes.
We have a few minutes to
Okay,
discuss.
I'm done. What, 1, 2, 3, what else you gotta add? You got it.
No, those are my two updates.
Okay.
Thank you, and I
Sanitation.
appreciate your patience. I'm sorry that it's. I
No,
have
no,
got
no.
more progress.
Well, call me direct and I can maybe make one phone call to somebody I know and say, listen. get your ass
Let's
up."
do this.
Yeah, cause that I can do.
So far, we
Go ahead.
have, I'm sorry. So far, we have agreed that the conference will be May 3rd, yes?
Which is just shy of 2 months from today. It's 2 months from yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the
cause I'm
time will be
subject not to
7
be here.
AM to 5 PM.
From what?
7, according to you?
Yes, we have
You
access.
Access,
Yes, from 7 AM to 5 PM.
Yes.
okay, all right.
Thank
So
you.
here we have the two documents here for us to take a look at and, correct, fix, adopt, whatever you want to do.
Well, even before that, if I may, we were asked, weeks ago on February 13th, in accordance with access, having been granted access into in-kind space access. I'm sorry?
This is no good anymore. That's the conference in Columbia.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, this is,
Yeah, that's the details of what they're supposed to give us for that conference.
well, this is from last year. We now, as of this year, we have 301, 315, and 316. But what they've asked from us, Columbia University, around the access they're providing us to these 3 spaces is, it said to help process your reservation, please confirm the following details. And these are all have to do with time, logistics
Yeah.
around time. What time will you arrive for setup?
That's it.
Yeah, that was established, I thought.
Yes, so we can just go back to what it was we determined for the last,
Oh,
this
okay.
is not rocket science.
Okay, go ahead.
What time will you arrive for setup? What time will you begin registration? What time will your program start?
Mhm.
What time will your program end? And what is the anticipated guest count for your event? We can answer all of these questions based on our planning from the table conference.
Yeah, good. I
Yes.
like this one.
So, good. Is all of that information in
Yeah,
that document?
yeah.
Good, so then, if you can give me, a copy of that document, I'll respond to those, all of those. $2.
Okay.
You can just send it to us. virtually.
Well, no.
He needs me to give him this first.
Yeah.
That's where we started, the hard
So,
one.
good, that's taken care of, yes? I'll take that and I'll answer all of those
This is,
queries.
the schedule from the last.
Yes,
right,
this
yeah,
is
so-
from before, yes.
Thank you.
This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 rooms, and we don't have, now we only got
So,
3.
as we
for last
see,
year?
thank you so much. You have, that's a big start. That means that we have a strong foundation. What we need to do now is to look at, yes, these were people that we had last year that we were thinking of booking. Perhaps we can still keep the time starting at 9 AM, giving us 2 hours to set up everything, make sure everything is good. People come in, we do the registration, continental breakfast, we do a pre-survey, together.
Where's that page you're on, Joyce?
This was
That one.
This is,
Empower.
okay, got it.
That's the schedule that we
This is the contract.
contrived for, yeah.
So
Yes.
like about an hour for registration or 45 minutes, and then we start the show at 10 o'clock. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's related to the panelists. So that was last year, are we still having the same this year? And I know we are adding certainly new one, and I would like to know.
No, it's not even that they added, they were there last year as well.
Yeah, they are there, but are they confirmed that?
Are they gonna be here this year, is what she
Yeah.
asked.
And
Okay,
that,
Has
so
there
we're
been
starting all over,
Okay.
sort of, kind of. So all these people that are here, we have to confirm, we have to call them
Reconfirm, yeah.
and find out if they're available. And if there are any ones in here that we want to even swap out, put different ones in,
Mhm.
you know.
yes, like, you know, the new.
They're there.
No,
They're
they
there, my love, they're there.
The new date is May fifth?
May
They're
third.
there, under the workshop, in this one, the yellow one.
Okay, okay.
Under the workshop, so there will be. So we had people who were doing presentations, we talked about Junior Martinez,
Mhm.
who's social entrepreneur, rags to riches, you know, we were talking about someone who, have a rags to riches story. As to how you can make it, that you can actually make it, so the ginger people out there listening, if I made it, you can make it as well.
So because all the committees are intertwined, last week we attended the conference on cannabis. And it's unfortunate that Dr. Castillo has left because he spoke about that. This is a industry is booming here in this community. There's a lot of regulation, there's a lot of question that the community would like to know, and I think that it's gonna be, it's good that to have them as well.
You make sense when you make sense, but
Yes.
who?
Yes,
Who, we have them, people from the, retail,
Okay,
yeah, I think that we talk about.
but
Gotham.
also what about licensing and?
Yeah,
We
this,
could
I
also-
also that too, and
Okay.
then we have people from the government, I have the name, the lady who spoke last week.
Very good,
I have a contact,
good.
and
You
then,
getting this?
so.
Now, that's
so
what you
just-
need to
Just
get to
one
him.
second, just 1 second, right? We have presentations, you know, people rules, people person rules, basically like the, give the, what is it?
The keynote?
Keynote, thank you so
Mhm,
much.
mhm.
And then we will have panelists, this is what we talked about, but I just wanna organize, then we'll have panelists
Mhm.
who will speak, you know, talk about something, whatever. And then we have workshops where people will break out. So the breakout one, it could be the cannabis breakout, you know, it could be, the ladies talking about. What we're talking about, digital payment system or financial education, anything, or Salesforce, you know? And then
That
you
two
have another
ten, that
workshop.
2:10
that's
PM is what the
something
one
else,
she's
so that
talking about, would be good for
we
her.
all start together in a room. And then we break out based on what individuals need.
Yeah, 2:10.
We could also, reach out to our friends at the Cannabis Task Force and see
Well,
if
that's
they
what I was
don't-
thinking.
which I'm
yes.
part of.
We don't have to,
if they want to have a breakout room or,
Be
you
event
know,
winners,
a
right.
10 minute,
yes.
10-minute presentation from it.
Okay, so.
They
we
meet.
can-
They actually just met this past Thursday,
It,
but we have their,
Last week
Exactly.
we did.
right, okay, so.
you know, that wouldn't be a bad thing to have somebody
And-
representing the task force, not the committee, excuse me. To even just speak on to tell people, entrepreneurs who come to this conference to say, you know, we're here for you. We are CB9 and we have, things, you know, efforts to support and this is.
And we like reading.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm looking at you.
This is from last
And
year,
we had her
Okay.
nonprofit.
and we're using
teaching,
this,
And they're
To
about
do
to
this.
start a program.
this was also from last year, but now we're using this to build.
I think this is great for an
Okay, but none
economic.
of these-
And then
development.
there's job.
We have to reach out to them
Even for
again.
elderly.
Oh, okay, I need this.
He was.
Thank you, John. I understand on the last year. It's 2024.
So,
Okay.
let's take a look at the workshop.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the workshop and see
What's up?
if we still want to do the same workshops or if we want to. Or if you guys have a.
We're in a workshop.
Doctor,
Dr. Mo,
Dr. Mabuya.
we wanna recollect the workshops here. And we wanna take a look and see if we still want these workshops or we
Don't
wanna
even see it,
change
it's so
them.
small.
I know we're already talking about the cannabis, having a cannabis workshop, is that be a workshop or a presentation or a panel, what is it that you're wanting?
Could be both.
We need to.
Can we task you, Dr. McGuire, with, reaching out to your task
Yes.
force and getting the consensus and,
Yeah,
and what might.
And then there might
They may decide which
determine
format
which is
they want.
most
Exactly.
Now, who is your people?
in the,
So,
for this
My
time.
people, Monique.
No, on here, are you on here already?
No, they're
No,
not.
no,
Not there yet, yeah,
So let's
okay,
take a look at the workshops, right?
right.
So we've had, first of all, grant application walkthrough with UMass and LMCC.
Will, that'd be, what's our representative?
I don't know, you always come to my meetings. Do we still want to do that?
Sure, I think,
Right?
yeah,
Financing loans opportunities.
absolutely,
Well, that's a definite,
absolutely. I mean, this is basic information,
right.
not just for, budding entrepreneurs or people who, might have some entrepreneurial vision, but for people who are already in business.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Now,
And need to do better.
now you see Trish Lewis.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then that's the ladies of hope.
Mm.
Now, do we wanna change? Do something else with them?
well, the last thing that she proposed,
Yeah, she said.
Depends on
don't
that
know yet.
demographic. I would
was
have-
based on what and she said we might do a survey. But I don't know that we have, you want to do a Google form and ask prospective participants? Before, no, I don't think so.
No.
You don't have
No.
to, just,
If
we
we
don't
know,
know.
if
What they,
we can just ask them to do, she
right,
mentioned,
there you go.
they can talk about branding. They can do digital payment system, they can do financial education with banks, you know, how you need to, or they can talk about Salesforce, so, you know, which is, a system for, helping you to keep track of your data, so they can teach that, so we can pick that one.
The two that you said before, Salesforce, the digital check, what were their?
Branding, digital payment system,
Digital payment system, and what was the other one?
financial education with banks.
Financial education with banks, and what do you think, you guys think?
I would say Salesforce, you know.
Really?
These
Yeah.
people
You know
that,
why? Because now there is a major, demand for data,
Yeah,
if you're going to,
Get funded, you're right,
yeah, that's what.
okay,
and
Okay.
Salesforce is, that's sort of kind of new, a lot of people know how to use it.
Okay,
Then, here for the digital payments,
Okay.
it was Trish, and then we can add.
let me ask
Take a
you,
sec.
these people that's up there in the presentation, are they gonna participate in any of the workshops?
The first one that we had with this practice, presentation, we talked about.
Yeah.
We talked about someone, giving a keynote address, to ginger people, because someone who can talk about his stories from rag to riches story.
Okay,
So that's how we start.
okay, so he's number one, now who's Bernadette Nation?
So, Bernadette Nation, is the executive director of NYC Business Services. I don't know if she's still there. This is a new year.
Okay, so that
A lot
has
of
to be
things
checked,
That
okay,
needs to be
Question
checked,
mark.
because the new
There's a question,
administration, I
right.
don't know if she's still there.
go ahead,
So
Dawn,
that is small business, New York City's, business services, small business services. So they can talk about all the various
That's what-
things that they have
yeah,
available.
we need to get somebody from there, so if it's her or somebody, but somebody from there needs to come,
Right.
yes.
So then we're going to have a panelist talk about, I don't remember what was.
Down the little hot dog wagon, where is that little hot dog
We can
wagon?
also reach out to, as a panelist, the Lily folks.
Say it again, the who?
Lily, it's the, gelato shop up on Amsterdam.
I don't know. You know?
Familiar with them?
Avril.
Abilene is what?
It's gelato on,
Gelato.
Amsterdam.
Gelato's too high end for us.
I understand that, but it
Gelato
is
is
a
ice
very
cream.
independent, small business, that has been successful and has become a part of the community and.
Amsterdam
I've
or
never heard of that.
Amsterdam and, like 139.
Well, what do they do? What
Do
do
they have sugar-free gelato?
I don't know that, but it's an ice cream shop and, you know, it's.
So,
As a
for the-
panelist or as an invitee? See, to me, there's somebody I would like to invite, but that person didn't necessarily have to be a panelist.
That's what.
Well, but Joshua's proposing a potential panelist because they've been successful.
Tell their story,
Yes.
tell how they got there, what they, you know, they've engraved themselves in.
How do you spell it? ABRIL?
ABRILLILY or something like, or it might even be a little silly, like ABRILLILLILY.
If you put the gelato.
Okay, now you just messing with me.
No, I think it is a little silly, but you know, it's an ice cream shop, why not?
So we got the Jemina juice bar, we got the little hot dog wagon,
Yes, so I will say.
the Uptown Night Market.
Remind him for Abdi.
Abdi.
It is still okay with him. It's around here.
Yes, it's,
Spell it.
I can follow you.
It's
He's
right
right
there,
there,
your
he's right
sheet.
there.
No, we're talking about Avril Lily.
Oh, okay.
ABRILLILLY.
Oh, Lord.
ABRILILLY.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Get busy.
Sounds delicious, but, you know, I was just looking at the little hot dog wagon, you know.
If we can have hot dogs, we can have ice cream.
As we still thinking about.
Oh, we can still have, this is indoors. Can't have.
You don't know the name of the proprietor?
I have met her, I don't recall for the moment.
Okay. If you want to funnel, what do you think of, I don't know.
Or it could be a replacement if one of these people are no longer
Are not no
available.
longer available.
Yeah,
Yes,
Okay.
let's put that way.
Yeah, sure, as a backup.
so,
Right.
let me know, contact these three, and if somebody drops out, I will get in contact with them. I'll let them know.
Right.
Good man. Okay.
So now wait a minute, this event is in
May.
May.
May 3rd, the first Saturday of May.
Okay, so this is, and we are now in April.
No,
We're in
Oh,
April.
don't get ahead of me.
Please
No,
don't.
no, the reason being, we're in March now, but we gotta get everything rocking by April.
Correct.
So we need
to be
to
shooting
delegate
April.
tasks. So go ahead, this lady woman, because she's looking at us.
As you look on the the past, we need to think about a translation, Spanish,
Okay,
English,
all right.
In French.
and French, yes.
Okay, I will volunteer to look into that, through WHDC.
Anybody have any food?
I'm going to, what is it?
I was gonna say, where's the food? Cause I'm about ready.
I'm going to the dumpling house.
No, I'm going home.
I'm
I just
thinking
thought
of,
that maybe somebody had.
I prepped all the dinner and then I left. That's what I was doing for the
I
10
didn't
minutes.
do
that I was late.
anything like that. Okay, sorry for the.
They provide translators.
no, for, conferences and forums, we have, if I recall correctly, access translation services through WHDC.
Okay, that works.
UHBC,
The-
that's the radio, eh?
No,
That's what
that's how
Harlem,
the
the
government-
government call.
So here's a question I want to pose to everyone, right?
Yes.
For the panelist discussion, should we have one topic that everyone talks about? Or should we, here, I think I just put different
Where
topics.
are you at?
I'm on this
Oh.
sheet of paper.
The other one.
I didn't think, I just put different topics there, you know.
Different topics.
Them to talk about briefly, and then to Martin, you just, ask the questions, each one about the experience, but I have to say that Janet Rodriguez is not coming. However, if we still want so hard to be part of it, do you remember the man who came to give a presentation, a really great presentation here?
Henry.
Henry, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The textile.
The textile man.
Yes, I visited his office.
And,
Amazing.
really, Okay, what is Andre, what,
The Henry.
and
Henry.
Henry,
Henry, yes.
okay,
He's at So Harlem?
Yes.
you remember his last name, Dr. Joe? Okay,
Okay.
okay, so,
Okay. Right, so we can, give them a little, I think like doing this is exposing the different businesses in our district.
Yes.
They'd be able to talk a little bit about what they do, how they do, and then, John, you moderate, John.
yeah, but we should have, okay, and we can formulate this,
Right.
but a series of questions that, constitute an arc, surrounding, what, do we want to support business startup or, a more holistic perspective on, starting, building, maintaining business.
Yeah, well, this was to look at a way of, touching different topics. Covering different topics and also asking overarching questions
Yes.
that, each one of them can ask, answer.
Yeah,
But that's also relevant to all of them. So they may, for instance, Marco can talk about the importance of marketing in business, right? Because Marco does the, night market, right? Abdul, he does the acquiring affordable business spaces, doing,
marketing and advertising,
the importance of marketing in business. That's just a working topic. Doing the little hot dog wagon, running a successful for-profit business practices. And Jeanette Rodriguez running.
well, I mean, was that running a successful for-profit business or is that, vending?
What are we talking about? Which one are we
No,
talking
it's
about?
All of them.
All of them or just
Topics.
No.
But it's vending is for profit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and we know that we have some vendors that we were trying to attract, In covering the whole gamut of entrepreneurs,
Okay, so,
yeah.
I don't say we have to replace Marco, but I actually did attend a workshop with Chase Bank. Chase Bank has opened community services at one day in our land, but the one workshop that I attended was for them in the Bronx. And they talked about navigating the marketing during during the digital age. That was, they had the paper, the booklet, it was very formal and I think
It was a banker from Chase in the Bronx or just a head of a Chase?
not.
Because there's a Chase Bank on 125th Street, but do we have that kind of?
Yes, she goes everywhere.
That's what I'm asking.
She
you.
goes everywhere and the
So
workshop
you're saying-
was held at the Chase Bank in the Bronx.
What, the Chase Bank workshop offered what to the small businesses? What was the presentation from
It
the?
was about awareness, education about marketing. in
Marketing,
digital
marketing,
age.
okay, marketing, because
Marketing and
marketing is a
digital.
financial, to me, marketing is financial, that's money. You ain't got no marketing, you ain't no money, so yeah, so you're saying somewhere add a Chase Bank here?
Yeah.
All right, well, if we did that, then I think we should see if we can take away someone.
and then that would be Marco Shalma, who we had, to the importance of marketing and business.
For
Well,
that,
you know,
it was
he-
more of a
he-
workshop.
Wait,
Okay.
And
Wait, two
and
different
I
things.
was, I think.
I would not take away
gonna
Marco
bring-
because it's an important.
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to
Yeah.
say, because it's a workshop of the cheese.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yes,
You know,
Chase
remember the
was
first-
a workshop,
Yes,
yeah.
I have also a contact and a little booklet
I mean, I'm not real
on Andrea.
keen on Jamie Diamond.
Who's Jamie Diamond? Who are you?
Jamie, that, oh
The
yeah,
head
and he
chase
came here for the opening in the Bronx in April.
You know, we also have an opening down here, you know, we have, our panelists and our workshops, this open
Right.
question of, resource tables. We could invite some of our maybe
An
lesser
overview,
favorite
yeah.
entities such as to just, be present and, have, you know, some accessibility, with resource tables rather than feature them as,
Join
Also-
and
also
become
for the-
involved in is what you're saying.
sorry?
Join and become
Sure, I mean,
involved
Chase-
rather than be the
Chase Bank,
presenter.
yeah, Chase Bank could be there to table. Also, if the cannabis task force,
They
isn't
need 3 tables.
prepared to, you know, be a panelist or do a workshop, they could at least, table. That would be helpful. Be present for, you know, to connect with people, provide the information.
Okay.
Great, so we, back here, it talks about, we talked table, so we can stop filling that thing.
I'm sorry, I missed that part. So on the back
The
of that,
flip side, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you need to put an arrow there, Joy. Yeah, cause I
Right.
didn't turn it over either.
so, to your cannabis task force, I think it would be fine, personally, whether they table or they do a
Yes,
workshop.
the
I think
table.
they should do both.
Either,
Yes,
yeah, either and
the
or.
table, because
We need to
they
have as
cover,
many-
they cover
as
the
many as
New York
possible to
regulation
table.
aspects. You cover the, retail store, the only retail store.
I do agree that a workshop would be good.
And
It is a
then-
very timely, economic, business, atmosphere topic, so. Maybe too late for a lot of people.
It's too late for most people, but that's okay.
There's gonna be a second wave.
No, it's not too late because. because of all the taxes.
Yeah.
What day of the week is that? January, you have first, you
Say it again,
It's a Saturday.
And the week is. next.
Saturday,
Why did y'all choose a Saturday?
because that was the day we chose last year. April 27th, last year was a Saturday.
The
Also,
reason I asked, and the reason I'm gonna say it the way I would think, is I would not want anybody involved in their business to not be in their business on Saturday. I was looking at Tuesday. In that you had Sunday's business, Monday to clear up whatever it was, and Tuesday to come to me without affecting the money in your business. I would not think that you want me to come out of my business on a Saturday.
Well, we had Saturday, April 27th last year.
What I'm saying is now that we're looking back
Mhm.
and I'm thinking, cause I wasn't really always dealing, but in my mind, I'm not gonna ask you to be in charge of your business and walk away on Saturday in the summer, spring.
I hear you. Well, we love your mind, Marita. And
Tuesday to me works fine.
And even as we do, that is the date that we've been offered access. So do you want us to quash or squash
No,
or
that's
not?
the date that we've been offered, but we didn't ask for any other either.
No,
We
sure,
could
Dan.
keep
No,
this,
we had
could
to
keep
give
this, but we
them
could ask, and what
multiple,
happens if
we had to
don't?
offer multiple dates, and this was the one of the ones that we
Right.
proposed.
Right.
so speaking of that, as it is, what, exactly 2 months from now?
Mhm.
We need to send out invitations, notices now, I think.
After we've confirmed
Yeah.
our presenters.
I think that we shouldn't wait too long.
I
We
agree.
want to attend it.
Santa said the date
Yes.
before we finalize.
Okay,
So
so
we
who
said
are the
that-
people who are going to be making the calls? I'm hungry, I need to know.
Yeah, or save the date, even if you don't have the full announcement, I think a save the date announcement is appropriate, if we want it to happen in 2 months.
Anybody volunteers to make calls?
I don't have the
I
contact
can
sheet, but I
tell
will
you.
do it.
Task force. I can give you a name for the cannabis task force.
If we, you know what, we need to make a
Aditya
flyer, that
which
way
is
you
very-
can go and leave the flyer with the small business, it's time to make a flyer.
And walk to the.
And then, cause
We
I
did
know
that
there's a whole
flyer.
lot of people I wanna touch But I
You
don't know
reached
them
out to
that
those
well,
people.
but they're little businesses. I wanna go in there and be like, hey, I want you to come to this.
I think a save the date flyer.
But I did reach out to, Junior Martin. Did reach
You
out.
secured several of those people, I remember, because I was impressed. I didn't know that, yeah, I didn't know.
He was trying to be sweet.
No, not just.
No, I'll tell you
But
what,
also.
I'll tell you who I reached out to.
Okay,
I reached out to, Janet Rodriguez,
okay,
Marco. I reached out to Marco. I reached out to Jeanette. I said that right already. I reached out to Junior. I did. I did reach out to Bernadette Nation as well. I don't know, she's there. And I reached out to, and I reached out to Harlem Community Development Corporation, HCDC. Those were the places.
I think a,
see,
I
don't
found
play
her.
with me, I know what I remember,
I think a save the date, flyer immediately would be excellent.
Yeah, I know.
That's the bottom line.
Okay, and so we should delegate,
Yes.
who should be reaching out to
Okay, and
them?
you guys are gonna stay with May 3rd of 2025, correct? Saturday.
I
May
would
3rd?
think,
There's a misspelling, I'm sorry, I misspelled Darrell Downey's,
I'm sorry.
name. Darrell.
So I think
And I also just have to say, and I think I tried to say this last month over the Zoom, but I don't think I was certain, May 3rd, I have to work. So I can
You
try to
have to
come for a few
work.
hours in the morning. Oh, yes, I have to work.
well, we'll be grateful for your
I
presence.
have to be there at 11:30, so I can come for until then.
That's
so-
fine,
So
that's
you'll
fine.
bring up your,
How
Be the
far away do
first-
you have to go to get to work? That's the.
30 Rockefeller Center.
Oh, so that means you're at 10 o'clock, you're going, I hear you.
Wow.
I used to work at 30 Rock, the Rainbow Room.
I didn't go to Paris, but I worked there.
You contact everybody.
NBC.
NBC.
Okay, so we'll rely on you, Joshua, to reach out to all of these
Good to
people
know.
to confirm.
Okay.
I
What
can
do
give
you
you
do
the
at NBC?
name of the
Saturday Night
of the New York
Get
City.
the heck out
She's
of
gonna come, I will reach her. Catherine. She's here. That was the event.
So I'll confirm with the other people that I spoke to
Terrorists.
earlier and see if they're still available, but then there's still other people that need to be contacted.
Okay, we need to delegate tasks in the remaining minutes that
Absolutely.
we have. So,
Absolutely.
First task is, we need a flyer and it needs to be sent out to all the people. I think that's the
Before the
first.
flyer, we need to confirm who's gonna be there.
Sorry, the save the date flyer.
No, save the date, we don't have to, save the date of
Yeah.
what the purpose of the event is, we don't need nothing else but that, save the date.
The same day, yes.
and to whom are we sending this flyer?
Everybody we see, every small business, yeah, we give it to
Okay,
every
so
small
we-
business I can.
So I'm thinking we should use the resources of the board
Yeah.
and have Akil and Yuba disseminate it widely, including, I mean, can you use link NYC kiosk for Save the Day?
Yes.
Good.
That'd be great.
Save the date is
So let's
very
do that.
easy, yeah. The topic, the dates, the frame of the time.
And then give me
and the
some paper,
location,
because
that's it.
everybody you see
Um,
is there, ain't there, I found out.
But who has skills in terms of creating a flyer that looks,
The save the date
that's an
is
eye
easy.
catcher?
Because the flyer, yes, so the flyer will require a no scale person.
Talking about
For the
graphics.
save- Yes,
Yeah.
but for the save the date, it's not that complicated.
Okay, so.
Well, no, because basically if you save the date with a graphic of what you're saving the date for, then you have it for everything. So if you're saving the date, what is this event being called? Because I don't understand. Is it called empowering
Empowering
grassroots?
grassroots entrepreneurs.
Oh,
And I think we should change the order of this. Empowering grassroots entrepreneurs, business conference. Business conference should come after the topic. Yeah,
No,
I would go to the grassroots. I'm afraid that we cut.
okay, empowering entrepreneurs.
How about small business conference?
Empowering entrepreneurs business
No,
conference,
just
small
a
business.
small business conference.
Small business conference.
We,
You don't have to ask for empowering, because you invited me to a small business conference. You must be planning to empower me with something besides garbage.
Well, that's an assumption that I don't know.
No, what I'm saying,
necessarily-
I'm talking about,
And.
I'm running a business and I get 5,000 pieces of paper. I wanna understand that a small business conference, got it.
If we're only looking to attract people who are already business owners,
What about on never?
Sure.
Entrepreneur on nerve. On never. No, you don't.
I'm sorry?
Entrepreneur.
All right, I agree. Small business conference. How about, John, how about just take out the word topic and just make
Yeah,
it small
Yeah,
business
we don't need
conference?
topic.
Right,
Topic-
empowering grassroots entrepreneurs. That should be a flyer for everybody of every age, of everything. We're done.
Okay,
Make a whole page just big, that's what it's, and a date. It needs a date and a location. That's it.
We have the date, we have the location.
Yeah, it is. That's all that flyer means. Business conference, it should be small or,
And then when we have that, we can see with the.
all right, I
design.
will try to put that together tonight.
Okay.
Flyer, very basic,
yes,
business
Limited
conference,
information.
empowering,
good.
right.
not saying it's first of annual, none of that. We can make all
No.
the decisions later. I'll
Right,
try to do
right.
it.
We
but-
got
We
6
need
more
that.
minutes.
Business conference was empowering, the date and the location. That's it.
Thank you, Joshua.
Yes, that was, thank you.
So then after that, we need to reach out to our keynote, our presentation,
Yes.
our panelists. and
Yeah.
Confirm.
Okay, so who's reaching out to whom?
I'm reaching.
I don't know none of these
to
people.
Task
Y'all go
Force
ahead on.
Saturday,
Yes,
And then to.
to Catherine here,
Yes.
okay,
I'm reaching to, Abdul
good.
and, Chase.
Are you marking these down for yourself? Okay, who should I reach out to?
Who do you know or who do you think?
I don't know any
Oh,
of you,
Chase Bank, yeah?
which is why I looked to you all to do it last time. But I can call HCCI, I have a relationship with them, okay?
Private ladies of hope.
I don't
can
mind,
reach to-
okay,
Yeah, I can reach to them.
you like them, good,
I like them because I have another idea.
good, okay.
And everything.
And I'll circulate the
And
flyer.
you also the consumer and workers protection. Can do that.
If you do the flyer,
No.
I've never heard
Then,
of them.
you'll distribute it,
Consumer,
I'll give like 24 hours for people to comment and then you can distribute and
they
it
should
has
be,
to distribute.
consumer.
Oh, Department of Cultural
if
Love it.
you
Affairs,
do it the way I just told you, there ain't nothing to add to it.
Simple.
It's
So
a
you-
simple and people expect it. It's business.
Consumer Affairs, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I
Because
worked
the
with
more
them
you
for
put,
a year.
the more you look.
Are we still recording or it's?
Yeah, we're still on.
Okay,
So is everybody covered for panelists and workshops to reach out to? And you'll let me know if one of the panelists drops out or we can't
Yes.
secure them. I will reach out to everyone.
Okay, let's go over it quickly before we leave.
yes,
Okay, who's reaching out to Soha? For Henry?
I can reach because.
please write it
Yes,
down.
I will, yes.
Who's reaching out to Dawn Benry, the little hot dog wagon?
Where was that?
Is this one, I'm using this thing.
If I have a contact, I don't mind calling people. Oh, okay, well, I'm not. I'm
I guess you can find it on.
Who knows Marco Shalama?
Shalma.
Shalama? I just like
I'll tell
uptown night
Marco.
market, I don't know, him, but I like the idea of uptown night market.
Okay, who's reaching out to Abdul?
I do.
That's Dr.
Dr. Lumbuya.
Yeah. I'll reach out to Marco. Who's reaching out to UMass?
I can do that.
Okay.
Where is that? Where's you at?
Those workshops.
That's workshop.
Upper Calvin Zone. Who's reaching out to NYC Consumer Workers Protection?
Who's that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 4.
I'm calling UMass, LMCC, HCCI.
You took my HCCI from me.
Oh, you, okay, you are calling. If you call it,
Was that HCCI?
All the congregations for
No, that's
community.
yours, you can have that.
I'm reaching
I'll do it,
Lama.
I'll keep with my HCDC.
Lama.
Okay, so I'll reach out to, DCWP. Okay, who's doing, Ladies of Hope?
I do.
Okay. And, HCCI, that's John Martin Green. All right, HCDC, that's me.
And then Chase Bank.
SBS, okay, Chase Bank.
This is.
Reaching out to Chase
Jamie
Bank.
Diamond, I mean, Chase Bank.
Yes, Chase Bank, yeah, Jimmy.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna reach out to them? Okay.
I'll reach out to SBS.
Okay.
I think I wanna reach out to that other, that setback that I was in the district.
Who's reaching out to UMass? That's John Martin. Right?
So UMass, yes, I'm doing UMass, LMCC,
I know
HCCI.
what I'm talking to.
All right, well, these ones
Can I reach
are,
out to this other bank?
You're not talking about,
who's reaching out to Women's
Carver
Chamber of
Bank.
Commerce?
Not Carver, the one that's at 125th Street in.
TT?
Cause all my stuff
a
is,
commercial bank or a community bank?
it's, I think, a regular commercial bank, I think it is.
So then, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citibank,
You know what,
I don't know.
just much of,
Capital One.
this much of the problem, you got
Okay,
to
who's
reach out.
reaching out to New York Women's Chamber of Commerce?
I can do that.
Oh, you know what, when you say that, but there's the New York Women Chamber of Commerce.
That's what she's talking about.
Yeah, they were at the Chase Bank.
Yeah, they
They were at the, yeah.
okay, so, and then,
Do we want Harlem Chamber of Commerce?
sure,
Both of them.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right,
And then, it says on your schedule, continental breakfast and lunch. How do we go about that?
Who's providing that? TD Bank, that's the one I kept looking
That's what I told you.
we have to get some people to sponsor.
at.
So in addition to the 1,500, we get.
Cause I got two, yeah, I know you do TD Bank.
You got 1,500?
Sorry,
The new owner of the new benefit.
That's 1,500, 1,000.
So we can look at different places to see where we can, get some additional funding. We can look at WHDC, we can look at maybe some banks.
I love this new section.
What,
All right, I moved to the adjourn.
I'm gonna reach out to TD Bank, that's
So
what.
we'll stop recording.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
Nice.
What is the title of?